Hello, welcome to my review of Versace's red jeans. I've just done black jeans and blue jeans, which are both fragrances for males, but I've got all three of them, so I'm going on a whole Versace vibe today. Plus Samsara, I've just reviewed that as well. If you like Samsara, go and check it out. So about this fragrance, it's a floral fruity, and it came out in 1994, and I think at the time floral fruities weren't exactly huge on the market. We're talking how many years ago now? I'm not good at maths, but have a think about it. Now a lot of floral fruity fragrances seem to kind of blend into each other. There's not many that kind of stand out to me and I think, oh my god, I really like that. But this one at the time, the 90s was my favourite periods of perfumery. I'll always say that. I think fragrances at the time were made to be a fragrance. There wasn't a million and one flankers for one fragrance. They made them and they moved on. I wish it was still like that, but it isn't. So this one, yeah, 1994, floral fruity, with a difference, I think. They did a whole set of jeans for each sex or gender, whatever you want to call it. They did blue, black and green, and baby blue for men. Then they did red, yellow and white, and baby rose for women. And this one is kind of nostalgic because it's I was 14 when it came out, and a lot of people I know wore it, and some of them still even do. And you know, when a fragrance is nostalgic, it kind of makes you feel like you're almost home, I would say. And yeah, it just feels like that. It's a nostalgic fragrance, so I'm glad to be reviewing it. I will say it gets a lot of rap for being synthetic smelling, which I kind of agree with, but because, you know, you have to kind of open your nose to a lot of different things, and synthetic isn't always so bad. And everything can smell like, you know, the grass we pick and the flowers we smell wildly. I mean, it'd be nice if they all did, but they don't. They always don't. So, you know, it's fine. You have to just get over it, basically. So what's in it? So you've got the top notes are peach, freesia and apricot. Freesia is an amazing flower. It's so fresh and lovely. Peach and apricot, very fleshy, kind of thick fruit smelling fruits. And then the heart, you've got rose, lily of the valley, ylang ylang, water lily and violet. Water lily is a nice interesting note. You don't really see that very often, so I'm glad it's in there. And then the base is very kind of, I would say, generic, even though I don't want to say that, but it is. It's vanilla, musk, sandalwood. So many fragrances have that. A lot of fragrances like to dry down to that. It depends on what's on the top that kind of gives it a bit of a change. So I've had it on this hand drying for a while, as I normally do, and I'll put it on this hand as well. So oh sorry, the bottle, always forget that, don't I? The bottle is the same as all of the other jeans. They come in tins like this. The red jeans and the blue jeans ones were released at the same time, and it's kind of quite detailed, but the red one is slightly different. Every person in the images they're wearing jeans. I'm not sure what the jeans theme is, but I'm pretty, well, for my guess, they're supposed to be kind of, you know how jeans are your kind of go-to clothes, you can wear, everyone's got a pair of jeans. I'm guessing they tried to make this feel like it's your go-to fragrance. You can wear it whenever you want, all the time. And a lot of them are like that, I'll give them that. Even though it's synthetic smelling, it is kind of an easy one to spray. So yeah, this one to me doesn't really change very much from when you first spray it to when it's dry. It keeps a kind of very linear vibe, and what this is mainly about is the peach and the apricot. It is more fruity than it is floral, and what I'll say is the freesia in the top notes, you've got peach, freesia, apricot. The freesia kind of gives it that freshness, a tiny bit of effervescent, like spring-like feel, even though it is quite heavy, but it is lifted by the freesia. It's very fleshy fruit smelling. It's kind of, there's tons of flowers in the heart, but I personally never really get to that. The peach and the peach and the apricot are so apparent that they hold on for dear life. It's just, it does smell very in your face. A lot of the jeans ones were very good for longevity and strength, and this one's no exception. It does stay how it smells when you first spray it on. It just kind of just fades off, I think. I think the base doesn't even come into play. Vanilla in this, not really. It's not musky at all, and I don't think it's woodsy at all. This is all about the top notes, and I will actually steal something from the wonderful Katie Puckrick, who is one of my favourite perfume reviewers. She sometimes calls perfumes top loaded, where they load the top with so much scent, so when you spray it in the shop you go, oh my god, I love it, and then by the time you've got home there's nothing left, and it's just to make you buy it basically. But this perfume seems to be top loaded by a lot of peach and apricot, but synthetic peach and apricot. We're not talking a natural smelling perfume here. So that's it. And I would say that what doesn't get noticed by people, but what I notice a lot in it, is violet. When it starts to dry, the only thing that I really start to notice is violet. Violet's kind of powdery, but in this it isn't. It does take on a very kind of purple, violety feel, and it's definitely noticeable. It's really, I love violets. If you don't smell them on their own, go and smell them. They smell really lovely. Like, they smell like perfume anyway, I think, violets. But violet really, really comes forward in this. So you've got like a kind of fruity violet perfume, and that's pretty much it. I can't go into it much more. I'll say that it's really strong. It's not for everybody, but it's a 1994 fragrance, when fragrances were very loud, and some of them did kind of fall by the wayside and become a bit sickening, but sickening in a good way for me. So hopefully you enjoyed my review, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks.